Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight it's Game 3 of a 4-game series between the high-flying Washington Nationals and the Houston Astros. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Nats have won the first 2 in extra innings. They now have the best winning percentage in the major leagues, JD.
Yeah, 23 innings of frustration so far for the Astros against the best road club in baseball, the Nationals. They just keep running one quality starting pitcher after another at you. Tonight it's Gio Gonzalez, the two-time All-Star last year, and this the left-hander, 13-6 with a 3.34 ERA. Armando Galarraga has made just 2 starts for the Astros, 0-1 ERA, 5.23 for the veteran right-hander who was originally signed by this organization.
Both bullpens really stressed in this series. Ben Francisco got the Astros off and running with a 2-run homer last night. Espinosa drove in all 3 for the Nats, and they won it 3-2 in the 12th. More in a moment.
Astros baseball tonight. The Washington Nationals take on the Astros in the 3rd game of their 4-game set. Almost set to go, so let's go to the booth. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Thank you, Greg. Armando Galarraga is ready to work, so we're going to get started right here and right now with Game 3 of this 4-game series. And it's going to be Steven Lombardozzi leading it off. He's at second base tonight, and he's hitting .258 with 2 homers, 21 runs batted in for Lombardozzi. Third baseman Matt Downs even with the bag off the line just at the edge of the grass as this game starts. And it starts with ball 1. Galarraga walked 7 in 5 1/3 innings in his last start. .258 for Lombardozzi, 2 homers, 21 driven in. And he's up with that pitch for a 2-ball no strike count. Angel Hernandez is the home plate umpire. Galarraga 0-1 in 2 starts as an Astro. Started out with 1 game at Class A Lexington, then moved up to Oklahoma City. Inside with that one, and he falls behind 3-0. In that last game, he walked 3 in the 1st inning. Those are his career numbers.
He's made 88 starts. He was originally signed by the Expos, who morphed into the Nationals a few years back. 26-31, 4.70 lifetime ERA, best year with Detroit. Back in 2008, he was a 13-game winner that year, had a 3.73 ERA.
Lombardozzi's 1 for 10 in this series, and he's aboard with a leadoff walk. Hyundai brings you the starting lineup for Davey Johnson, Steve Lombardozzi, Bryce Harper, Ryan Zimmerman, Adam LaRoche, Michael Morse, Jason Worth, Danny Espinosa, Kurt Suzuki, and Gio Gonzalez. Bryce Harper has fallen upon pretty rough times. His batting average has been taking a beating. He is 0 for 8 in this series. Didn't hit much in the month of July. 254, 10 homers, 30 runs batted in for Harper. But always a threat. Swings the bat with authority. And there is ball 1 to him.
Lombardozzi 0 for 5 last night. Harper was 0 for 4 plus a walk. Until Morris doubled in the 12th inning, top 5 men in their batting order were 0 for the night. Not a lot of hitting going on in the ballpark last evening.
Now Galarraga falls behind 2-0. He'll get a visit from Carlos Corporon, his battery mate.
Well, let's take a look at the Astros defensively. It's brought to you by the Home Depot. Brandon Barnes making his second major league start in center. He's got Martinez on one side, Maxwell on the other. Third to first goes Downs, Gonzalez, Altuve, Pierce. You saw Corporon trot out there to the mound and talk with his battery mate. Try to lock him in on that strike zone.
Ryan Zimmerman on deck with the 2-0 count on Harper. He leads all rookies in the National League with 7 game-winning runs batted in. Takes that one for strike 1. The Nationals are 7th in runs scored in the National League. They have the best winning percentage at .609 in the majors with 67 wins, 43 losses, and a 4-game lead on Atlanta. That's cued foul over by Bo Porter, the third base coach. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Harper. Last night the Astros got excellent work from their starting pitcher Jordan Lyles. One of his best games of the year. 7 innings of 3-hit 2-run baseball.
Yeah, very impressive work by Lyles last night. Sometimes you look at the results of an outing, and if you really watch the game, you say, you know what, the guy wasn't that good. He got lucky. Well, last night Lyles was that good. He had real good command of his stuff. Pitched a nice game, and he and Chris Snyder really worked well together, moving the ball in and out on these national hitters. Galarraga is a guy who's going to give you a fastball, tries to get a little tail on it away from the lefties, slider and a changeup.
Runner going on 3-2. It's ball 4. Now back-to-back walks bring up Zimmerman.
After back-to-back extra inning games, you're hoping to get as much out of Galarraga as possible here tonight if you're Brad Mills, and it's off to a tough start with back-to-back walks.
He made his debut at home on July 28th against Pittsburgh. Gave up 2 earned runs in 5 innings here, a no decision. Now Ryan Zimmerman, 276, 15 homers, 59 runs batted in. He's hit .320 against the Astros this season with a homer and 7 runs batted in. Zimmerman had 2 hits in the opener Monday night. He is 2 for 9 with 2 runs batted in the series. Struck out 4 times last night. He takes strike 1 here. This is the first time Galarraga has faced the Nationals.
Corporon out, giving some signs to the infielders where he's going to go with the ball in case the Nationals try to pull off a double steal here.
Altuve went to second base. Now time called. Zimmerman out of the box with LaRoche on deck.
Harper with a very aggressive lead down there at first base with Pierce playing behind him. I'd be surprised to see Corporon take a shot and try to pick him off.
Zimmerman has hit .359 since the 1st of July. It's 0-2. He points the end of that bat back toward the mound. Galarraga's from Venezuela. As he joined the Astros, he had welcomed a baby daughter into the world in Austin, Texas, his home. then came in to make that first start July 28th. Now missing. It's a 1-ball 2-strike count to Zimmerman. The Nationals have won 9 games in extra innings. Back-to-back extra inning affairs here have gone to them. 5-4 and 11 Monday night, 3-2 and 12 last night. But they have some relievers who could use a night's rest. And so do the Astros with all the extra innings. Astros now 25 and 29 at home.
That's why it's so important to keep the Nationals from putting a crooked number on the board here early. If they're able to put a big inning on Galarraga at the start of this ball game, that would allow Gio Gonzalez to be a lot more aggressive with his approach. The guy at times this year has really worked a high pitch count. But with a comfortable lead, he could probably be a little bit more aggressive and pitch deep into this ball game.
Zimmerman looks at it. It's ball 3 and it's a full count. Galarraga really struggling to hit that strike zone. Zimmerman's a .335 career hitter against Houston with 9 homers. He struck out 73 times this year. Lombardozzi at second, Harper at first. They don't go. It's a ground ball and off the glove of Matt Downs into foul territory. And here comes a play at the plate and the tag by Corporon. They get Lombardozzi. What a play from foul ground by Matt Downs. The ball off his glove, then he chased it down and fired accurately as the home plate umpire Angel Hernandez was getting the bat out of the way.
A nice job staying with the play by Downs, and really bad base running by Lombardozzi. Nobody out in the inning. They got a pitcher who's struggling to find the strike zone, and he tries to take a chance to score on this ball. Bo Porter's pointing at the bag saying, "Stay here." And Lombardozzi, like Bernardina a couple of days ago, runs right through the stop sign. This time, Lombardozzi is out. This is bad base running. That's not even close. That's a gift for the Astros right there. Angel Hernandez multitasking, moving the bat and making the call.
Sure was.
Oh my!
Terrific throw by Downs and the tag by Corporon. Now it's first and third, one out. Harper taking third on that play at the plate, and Zimmerman was credited with a hit. Adam LaRoche at .274 with 23 homers has driven in 72. Now Marwin Gonzalez and Jose Altuve set up to turn a couple here.
Well, that would just provide a huge lift in that Astros dugout after back-to-back extra inning losses. And what is shaping up as a difficult first inning here for Galarraga. If he could somehow get out of this mess without giving up a run, boys in the white uniforms would be fairly pumped.
That would give them a lift. You're right. A swing there by LaRoche takes the count to 1-1. He is 1 for 10 in this series with an RBI.
Good change up here, splitter, some kind of an off-speed pitch from Galarraga.
LaRoche has hit 7 long balls in his last 14 games. He's driven in at least 1 run in 6 of his last 8. Takes that for ball 2 with Michael Morse on deck. Adam is the leader among National League first sackers and homers and runs batted in. At 7 20 home run campaigns in 8 years. It's that one foul, and first base coach skips rope on that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Armando doesn't have the fastball to throw by in the strike zone, so he's trying to work off the plate with his fastball, trying to get the hitters to chase. And the left-handed hitters, looks like he's going to lean on that off-speed pitch, the changeup.
Two pitch is driven to center field, backing up Brandon Barnes. Here's the tag at third by Harper. That's out number 2, and the run will score to make it 1-0 Nationals.
I think Angel Hernandez has got a balk call here. Yeah. See, Armando quick pitched him, and Hernandez called a balk. That's a free swing for the hitter.
And so everybody moves up a base. Now Brad Mills is coming out, and the offensive team may elect what happened if everybody advances at least one base, but that was not the case. So LaRoche will be coming back to the plate, and it'll still be 1-0 with a runner at second.
And I think it was a good call, but I also think it was a good try by Galarraga, because you got to be a little creative out there when your stuff is a little short, and his is. You see here, watch how he just kind of. There is a little hesitation there. I thought he was all right. You know, in real time, I was with Hernandez. I thought it was a quick pitch, but right there, it looked like he was okay.
Sure did.
I mean, he didn't take a lot of time once he came set.
Now they're going to confer, the umpiring crew. Now, once that balk is called, how do you undo it? I've never seen that before, but let's see what they're talking about. And the balk, of course, allows Lombardozzi to score, or Harper to score, and Zimmerman to take second, and then it's no pitch. But if he had hit it for a double or something like that, and everybody advanced at least one base, then that would be the result.
Yeah, you can see Angel came out with the call, and he was just waiting for the play to develop. So you knew something was going to go on at the end here. You see, there's right before the ball's really even struck by LaRoche, he's got the call.
And a lot of times, you know, the pitcher can't hear the balk call, and he's into his delivery, but if he throws it, the hitter gets a free swing. So if the hitter hears that balk call, he should always swing, because he won't be penalized in any way. The very worst is that all the base runners move up a base, and it's no pitch to him. So now the explanation to Brad Mills. So the balk cost the Astros a run, with Harper scoring and Zimmerman takes second. And LaRoche has a 2-2 count. Trying to get the scoreboard fixed now. As there's one out, now Angel gets everybody set. Altuve's out in right field. Now that there's a runner at second and not at first, he's moved his position, and that's where the Astros play LaRoche in these situations.
LaRoche just has kind of a bemused look on his face. Like, what's going on here?
He gets to hit again. Bonus for him, certainly. Of course, he would have had an RBI with a sac fly, so it might not be a bonus for him. Now 3-2.
It's really interesting, the replay of Galarraga, because again, I was right there with Angel. I thought we quick pitched him, and then when we had the replay, it looked like he came set.
We haven't seen that kind of a balk call in a long time.
No. You know me, I'm Mr. Anti-balk. I'm usually screaming and railing when an umpire calls a balk.
You saw it.
That's the one time when it's justified, when a guy quick pitches. That's a legitimate attempt to deceive not only the base runner but the hitter, if indeed he did go, without stopping. That's the one balk rule and the interpretation of it that I tend to agree with. But again, on the replay, it looked like he was okay.
Sure did. Like he stopped. He's had 3 straight full counts now. Harper, Zimmerman, and LaRoche. After that leadoff walk to Lombardozzi.
Angel's not afraid to get in the middle of it. Seems to be a lot of interesting plays when Angel's on the crew.
Of course, any umpire can call a balk. Yeah, we haven't seen that one in a long time, where there's a balk called and the batter actually puts the ball in play. Swings and misses, and LaRoche is down on strikes. That's out number 2.
Appears to be his go-to pitch against these left-handed hitters. Again, it's a tumbling changeup, kind of a splitter, forkball type offering. Now
Mike Morse comes up. Morse with 8 homers, 34 runs batted in, a .300 batting average, is on a 16-game hitting streak. That's a career high for him. And he got the extra at bat in the 12th inning and hit a double up on Towles Hill. He hit the ball 430 feet to extend that hitting streak after going 0 for 4 last night. Strike to Morse. That was his 12th two-base hit of the year. And then it wound up setting up the winning run in the 12th inning. Cesar Izturis came in to pinch run for Morse and scored on the Espinosa single. It's been a 26-pitch first inning, including a balk for Galarraga so far. Really struggling out of the gate. Jason Worth on deck. Swing and a miss there by Morse. Takes the count to no balls, 2 strikes. During Morse's 16-game hitting streak, he's hit .324, 4 doubles, 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. In the dirt. Blocked by Corporon. 1-2. The Nationals are in a stretch without a day off. 10-game road trip. They go on to Arizona and San Francisco after this series ends tomorrow night. 7:05 the finale heard tomorrow night. And in that finale, it's Lucas Harrell and Jordan Zimmerman. Jordan Zimmerman 8-6 with a 2.45 ERA. Lucas Harrell 9-7 with a 3.98.
Good matchup.
Really good. Yep.
Talented young right-handers.
What do we have Thursday night? Is guys night out?
Guys night out.
Oh,
right?
guys. Tomorrow night. Swing and a miss. Galarraga strikes out Morse, and 1 run scores on 1 hit with a man left. After 1/2 inning, Nationals 1. Astros coming up. For the first time with this Hyundai batting order, it's Jose Altuve, Matt Downs, Steve Pearce, Justin Maxwell, J.D. Martinez, Carlos Corporon up to the 6th spot tonight. Brandon Barnes, Marwin Gonzalez, and Armando Galarraga.
The Astros got their first look at Gio Gonzalez back in April, and they were duly impressed. 7 innings, just 2 hits, no runs, a couple of walks, 8 strikeouts for the talented left-hander who's been an all-star each of the last 2 years. Defensively, the Nats look a little bit like this. Morse, Harper, Worth in the outfield. Zimmerman, the Gold Glover. Espinosa's at short. Lombardozzi second. LaRoche at first. And recently acquired Kurt Suzuki, very good behind the plate. So a couple of former A's back together now with Gonzalez on the mound and Suzuki behind the dish.
Gonzalez, after winning 16 last year for Oakland, is shooting for number 14 tonight. .299 for Altuve, 5 homers. 30 runs batted in. He's 9th in the league in hits with 123. He's 10th in stolen bases, and he's been on base in 11 straight games. That's a career high, tying 11 games for Altuve. Looking at ball one.
Gonzalez has 3 above average major league pitches. Good heater. Sit around 93, 94 miles an hour. Curveball that can be devastating. It's a good straight change.
1-1. Altuve is 3 for 9 in this series. He had one of the 2 hits allowed by Gio Gonzalez in his 1-0 win over the Astros in Washington in mid-April. Justin Maxwell had the other. That was Gio's first win as a National. In tight, and it's a 2-ball 1-strike count. The Nationals traded 4 prospects to get Gonzalez.
Gonzalez this year yielding just a .205 batting average. And the Astros has a team hitting .207 against lefties.
That's a shot to left center field. Harper back. Extra bases out of the chute for Altuve. Hustling into second with a leadoff double, his 27th of the year.
But if there's one guy that's going to inflict some damage on him, it would probably be that guy, Altuve, hitting .349 against left-handed pitching so far this year. Has been the one guy in the Astros lineup that's been able to solve the southpaws, and a good start here. Up out of play for a ground rule double.
A new career high, reaching base for the 12th consecutive game. Altuve in scoring position for Matt Downs. Gets the Astros revved up with Downs trying to advance him now with a .209 average. 7 homers, 13 runs batted in. Matt is 1 for 5 in this series. He's hit .333 in his last 18 games. 13 hits, 39 at bats. That's ball one outside. Harper shading toward right center on Downs.
Well, to a certain extent, mission accomplished by Galarraga in the first inning. The Nationals scored, but looking like a big inning with back-to-back walks. He was having a hard time finding the zone, and 3, 4, 5 coming up, and he yielded just the 1. Pretty nice job by Galarraga getting through that inning with the balk and everything else that was going on.
Now shoots one to left center field himself. Harper coming over and calling for it. Morse lets him take it. Here's Altuve just drawing a throw, and it's a strong throw. This guy has a big-time arm. 1 out.
Good job of Harper, the center fielder, taking charge out there. No real chance for Altuve to advance, but you tag up, you go hard off the bag and draw a throw and hope for an errant throw.
Steve Pearce gets the RBI shot here in the first inning. Steve looking good in early games. 7 for 19 as an Astro. .368 average. 4 runs batted in. And 4 for 13 against this Washington club. Time called. He went 2 for 4 last night with a walk. Pearce is batting 5th in that game. I was asking him if he usually has hit the ball well to right center field, and he said no, I retooled my hitting this year to do that. He said I used to be more of a pull hitter. The results have been good. Strike there. No balls and a strike. Pearce in this number 3 spot in the lineup. The Astros have looked at a lot of different folks in this position in the order. Ground ball left side and on through. Altuve had to hold and make it clear the infield. He gets to third on the single by Pearce, who does in fact pull it that time.
Good solid single through the hole for Pearce, and the Astros with a great opportunity here to tie this ball game off a tough left-hander. Seen the Astros run into some outs on plays like this year, trying to advance, and then the shortstop ends up making a play. Got to make sure it gets through.
Justin Maxwell, the former National, at .246, has 12 homers, 36 runs batted in. He has hit .176 against his former club this season. Going 3 for 17. Justin 1 for 9 in this series. into center field. That'll tie it 1-1 with the RBI single from J-Max, jumping on the first pitch from Gonzalez for hit number 3. Astros get that run home to tie it. Maxwell gets his 37th run batted in.
Another guy who's been swinging it well against lefties and swinging it very well here since the All-Star break. Ball gets in on him a little bit, doesn't quite barrel it up, but certainly hits it hard enough to get the job done.
He's at first. He advances Pierce to second for J.D. Martinez.
It's 3 hits and an out on 9 pitches.
A lot of action here in the first inning. J.D. with a double play ball here. There's one. And up and over. Low throw. No double play. J-Max went in. And Lombardozzi's throw bounced over to LaRoche. He juggled it. If he had made the clean pickup on one bounce, it would have been a double play.
I think Espinosa did his second sacker a little disservice by laying back on this ball. That allowed Maxwell time to get in there and upend him at second base. Espinosa's got to come and charge this ball. Lucky his second baseman didn't end up in the hospital. J-Max was right on top of him.
Here's to third. Martinez at first for Carlos Corpora now with 2 outs. Carlos a .293 hitter. And he hits one. Back to the shortstop. This time a forced play. Espinosa to Lombardozzi. It's 1 run, 3 hits, 2 left for the Astros. It's 1-1 after 1.
As we move to the second here at Minute Maid Park. The 1990s blue and gold uniforms are back as part of the 50th anniversary celebration presented by Methodist Hospital System. Head to Minute Maid Park August 10th for a 7:05 game against the Brewers, and the first 10,000 fans will receive a 1990s blue and gold replica jersey courtesy of Coca-Cola. Get your tickets to be here for that one at Astros.com. And I think if you want one of those, you better be here early, Brownie, because that's a very popular jersey.
You bet it is.
The young folks like me really like that one.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
You young pups flock to that jersey.
Yep.
You urban hipster, you.
Yep.
Jason Worth leads it off in the second inning. It's a 1-1 game. 304 for Worth, 3 homers. He takes a strike. Coming back from a broken wrist, he played 7 innings and got 2 hits Monday night, and then his legs weren't feeling all that strong, so he came out of that game, sat out last night, except for a pinch hit. And the Nationals are nursing him back to everyday status. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Worth has hit, though. Since he came off the DL, he's 8 for 17 with an RBI. With 2 balls and a strike, now Galarraga has a chance to settle in after throwing a ton of pitches in the first inning. He's at 29 for the game right now. And his club responded with a run, so it's a fresh start for him. That's smack to left center field. It'll hang up there. Martinez and Barnes over. Martinez with the catch. One down for Galarraga. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Danny Espinosa's the batter now. 243 for Espinosa, 11 homers. He's driven in 39 runs.
He was the man last night for the Nationals, drove in all 3 of their runs.
Hit a 2-run homer in the second, and a ground ball up the middle in the 12th inning. And that accounted for the game winner. There's ball 1 to Espinosa, filling in at shortstop. Normally he has been a second baseman, but with the injury at shortstop, he has played well at that position.
He's a switch hitter, and he's hitting for much better average from the right side of the plate, but he has hit 8 home runs left-handed. 11 total. 218 average from this side.
4 for 10 in this series, 2-1. Ian Desmond was an all-star at shortstop, but then he got hurt right after the all-star game. Breakdown on Espinosa. They don't lose a whole lot defensively, but Desmond had hit 17 homers. So without him, they lose offensively. Ground ball goes to second. Altuve over to first. 2 outs. It'll be Kurt Suzuki coming up next. But they're going to take their time with Desmond, and it might be 2 or 3 more weeks. He is not swinging a bat yet with that strained oblique injury, and they're just really going to back off and take.
Well, those obliques, groins, those types of injuries, if you're not careful, you try to rush a guy back and he could really blow it out, and then you lose him for the rest of the season possibly.
Kurt Suzuki is hit. And he's on for Gonzalez. Second hit batsman for Galarraga this season with the Astros.
In the cheek. Suzuki's he's looking out there like, okay, is there anything in our past that would lead him to want to throw at me? And he's nodding like, yeah. Suzuki's responding like he's pretty sure that was intentional. I don't know if there's a history between these two guys.
Well, in that shot of Galarraga, I'll ask you to interpret that as Gio Gonzalez bats. He smacks one to left field. Looks like a 2-run homer. And that one is out of the ballpark as Gonzalez hits number 1 to make it 3-1. Nationals pitcher unloading to the Landry's Crawford boxes.
He was hitting 103 coming into that at bat. He took a big swing against the Astros in his start over in Washington. He hit a double or a deep fly ball. I just remember thinking, man, he takes a pretty big hack. And I saw him a couple of days ago, the first day in, and I said, hey, have you gone deep yet? And he said, no, not yet. And now he has.
First career homer for Gonzalez.
The really frustrating part, it comes with 2 outs, nobody on. Suzuki gets hit in the backside, and now the pitcher goes deep.
Lombardozzi the batter, and he crushes a line drive toward the right field wall. He'll head for second base. J-Max picking it up on the warning track. Lombardozzi with a double, his 14th of the year. So the first 2 outs were routine, and now it's broken out against Galarraga. Hit batter, 2-run homer, double. 3 consecutive pitches.
Lombardozzi just leaning on that low offering.
Three runs on 3 hits for the Nats. Here's Harper. He walked in the first inning. That's strike 1 to Harper. Nationals have the best road record in the majors, 35 wins, 21 losses, a .625 winning percentage. It's rolled out to second. Altuve over to Pierce. And the 2-run bomb by Gonzalez gives the Nationals a 3-1 lead in the second. Two-run homer. Gio Gonzalez takes that lead to the bottom of the second now. It's Brandon Barnes, and then the Astros' Marwin Gonzalez and Armando Galarraga. Barnes is 0 for 3 last night in his major league debut. He said his nerves weren't too bad last night. Strike one. Father Mike is back for game number 2.
Got that camera at the ready to record major league hit number 1 for Brandon. 3 ground ball outs to second base last night.
One hopper goes back to Gonzalez. 1 out. 5 of the first 6 Astros to bat in this game in that first inning. Swung at the first or second pitch, and that trend continues with Barnes. Now Marwin Gonzalez, 253, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in. And Marwin went deep in game 1 Monday night in the first inning off Edwin Jackson. Last night Ben Francisco went deep in the first inning, so the Astros first inning attack has been good. They have scored in all 3 games of this series in the first. Marwin has not been as good as a right-handed batter. That's strike 1 to him. 135 right-handed, 5 for 37. That's why he's batting 8th against the lefty. Gonzalez bounces that one. It's 1-1. The Astros 12 and 17 in games started by left-handed pitchers. JD talked about their lack of success offensively against southpaws.
And actually, that winning record against left-handed starters is pretty darn good, given the numbers they put up against them.
Right.
207 batting average. So go figure.
2 hopper goes to Espinosa. 2 outs for Gonzalez. Gonzalez really mowed down the Astros in that 1-0 shutout in Washington. 2 hits and 2 walks in 7 innings. 1-0 victory. Of his 13 victories this season. This is his 23rd start.
He's playing out exactly the way David Johnson hoped it would, with Gonzalez using an economy of pitches. It's his 17th offering. He's got 2 outs here in the second inning with the opposing pitcher up. So if he can finish Galarraga off, get back into that dugout in less than 20 pitches.
Galarraga looking for his first major league hit. He is 0 for 27 as a major leaguer. But those years in the American League didn't give him very many at bats. But Texas in 07, Detroit 08 through 2010, and then 8 starts for Arizona last year. This bouncer, Zimmerman to his left. He throws low, and he took something off and took too much off. Still, it's an 8-pitch second inning. And a 1-2-3 frame for Gonzalez. It's 3-1 Washington.
Move to the third, and this entire month of August, the Astros are remembering the 1990s as part of their 50th anniversary celebration. So join us on Sunday, August 12th, when the Astros and Brewers wrap up their series, and the first 10,000 fans will receive a retro umbrella courtesy of HEB. Root now and get those tickets to be here at Astros.com. Get yourself an umbrella, guys.
Greg Lucas is going to get one to take to Chicago.
Well, no, it's not going to rain in Chicago, is it?
Hopefully not. Cotton candy being dispensed out there in the corner.
Well, Chicago's a place you always have to be careful, though, because that is one place I have no place to escape.
Yeah.
And so if it does rain, I have to be ready.
You always have to be like a mailman in your job.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Ryan Zimmerman leads it off in the third inning. He got the infield hit off the glove of Matt Downs in the first, and then Lombardozzi was thrown out trying to score from second on that one. And he was balked to second base. There's strike one for Galarraga. Got the first two outs quickly in the second inning, and then things really caved on him when he hit Suzuki, gave up a 2-run homer to Gonzalez, then a double to Lombardozzi before he got Harper. It's no balls, 2 strikes.
Kind of keeping with the theme of last night's game when Espinosa did so much damage hitting down at the bottom of the order. He was a 7-hole hitter last night. And today they get a 2-run jack from their pitcher. They have a very dangerous middle of the order. A deep lineup. Zimmerman, LaRoche, Morris, Worth. Good, solid hitters.
Little grounder to short in the hole. There's Marwin Gonzalez playing it well to his right. Good throw on the run to get Zimmerman, 1 down.
The confidence level when the ball is hit in that direction for the pitcher and the manager, everybody feeling good when it's hit at Marwin Gonzalez the way he's played that position. What, 3 errors so far this year for Marwin?
He's really had a chance to play a lot. Adam LaRoche struck out on a 3-2 count in the first inning. The official score giving us that rule on the balk. There's ball 1 as LaRoche had hit the fly ball, which would have been a sac fly without the balk, and the rule 805M describes a play like that. Altuve's in right field. It's 2-0, and that rule says the ball is dead after the pitcher delivers from the set position without coming to a stop and is called for a balk. The ball is dead, and each runner shall advance 1 base without liability to be put out unless the batter reaches first. And everybody else advances at least 1 base, and that did not. happen.
So even if LaRoche were to lobby his manager, hey, let me take the out in the sack fly, what's going to happen? And there's Angel coming out with the ball call, claiming that Galarraga did not come to a complete stop before delivering.
Now it's 3-1.
Angel once ejected the 7th inning stretch singer at Wrigley Field. Steve McMichael, the former Bear.
What did he do?
Well, before he started to sing, and McMichael had become a pro wrestler. And apparently there was a call early in the game that the fans at Wrigley didn't care for. So
J.D. Martinez over. So he said something on the microphone.
Yeah,
about
he called out Angel. He said, "I'm going to have a talk with that umpire later." And a chorus of boos ran down, and Angel ejected him.
Well, the umpire has that authority to remove people from the ballpark who are not in uniform. Didn't even get to sing, huh?
No, yeah, I don't know. It sounded like they ran him out of there before he got to sing.
Mike Moore struck out in the first inning. He had probably rehearsed for a couple of weeks. That's smacked into center field by Morse. That gives him a 17-game hitting streak.
Stories of minor league organists being ejected.
Yeah.
After playing like the Three Blind Mice on the organ after a controversial call.
Right. Fans can be removed from the stands. Morse aboard for Jason Worth now. Worth hit a fly ball to left in the second inning. That's 4 hits so far for the Nationals. This one goes out of play. There's strike 1 to Worth. This National Club has been steady as she goes this year, despite some injuries and things like that. They were 14-8 in April. First place at the end of each month of the season so far. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. They won their first 6 series of the year, so they got it going and got some confidence. They swept the Atlanta Braves on the road in May, swept Boston and Toronto on the road in a 6-0 road trip in June. Swept Atlanta on the road in June again. 1-2.
Now they've got this lead, plus they're not had their projected starting lineup together once all year.
A lot of talk about Steven Strasburg being shut down in September. A looping fly ball heads for left center field. J.D. Martinez over, can't reach it, and now it's in between him and Brandon Barnes. So here's the throw in, and it's second and third on the double by Worth. Ball off Martinez's glove, then ricocheted away, and that's the 6th 2-base hit for Worth this year.
And it sure didn't look like a double off the bat. Off the end of the bat, he has to really break down his legs to go down and get that pitch, and just flips it out there into left center field. The ball that looked like it was going to be caught out there, but it just finds a soft spot there between J.D. and Barnes.
It gives Danny Espinosa a shot with runners at second and third and 2 outs. Espinosa grounded out in the second inning. He hasn't played a lot of short because of the injury to Desmond. He had been a second baseman, but he has an excellent defensive rating as a shortstop in the games he has played. And joining that long line of Long Beach State shortstops, Troy Tulowitzki, Evan Longoria, Bobby Crosby. Longoria, third baseman now, has been for a while. I don't know if Longoria's played a game at shortstop in the big leagues. He probably has, but he's been primarily a third baseman. And ball 1 there to Espinosa. Galarraga was 3-2 at AAA Oklahoma City with a 4.12 ERA.
Nationals' chief rival in the NL East, the Braves, had a 6-1 lead. But the Phillies have just dropped a 5 spot on them in the bottom of the 5th. That game now tied 6-6. They had a 6-1 lead with Tim Hudson on the mound, and it's disappeared.
Shocker. 2-0. Mike Minor took their loss last night. Michael Bourne hit his 9th home run tonight for Atlanta. Ryan Howard, number 6 for the Phillies, 2nd in as many games, and Jimmy Rollins, number 13. Braves trailing the Nationals by 4 games right now. Hudson out after 4 1/3, allowing 6 earned runs. Phillies could be interesting to watch. With their credentials, they could be quite an unexpected spoiler team here in the last 2 months. Unexpected spoiler team because they were expected to win the division by many.
They have for the last 5 years, and they still have that great frontline pitching, albeit pitching that banged up this year, and Halladay being on the DL for an extensive period of time. But yeah, still, you're going to face them in a 4-game series, 3-game series, and you have to deal with the likes of Hamels and Lee and Halladay. That is not easy.
3-0 pitch, ball 4 to load the bases for Suzuki now. That's 3 walks and a hit batter for Galarraga. The walks.
And that walk there at Espinosa, I think it was just a decision was made by Corcoran and Galarraga not to give in to him with a base open. And Suzuki on deck.
Red Mills Club will be trailing by 2 if they can get Suzuki, who was hit by that pitch in the hip in the 2nd. The Phillies have 9 games remaining with Washington and 9 games remaining with Atlanta. They will be at Washington the last 3 games of the year. They have 7 left with Cincinnati and 3 with St. Louis. They could be a determining factor. Suzuki takes, and that's strike 1 to him. Certainly wasn't the way they set it up in Philadelphia this year, and now as they're retooling their outfield and trying to keep their very highly compensated rotation together, other than Joe Blanton, who was traded, it'll be interesting to see what they can do on the rebound next year. Strike there makes it 0-2. Make it 1-1 rather. Well, last night Lyles did such a good job pitching inside to those left-handed batters. He really set a nice tone going through his 7 innings.
In terms of the way he threw his pitches and the tempo that he worked, getting it and going, go on the attack.
A little different tonight on this pace of game. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And again, Lyles has got really good stuff, and Armando doesn't have that good fastball. He's got to be more cautious. You can understand him trying to spend more time out of the zone than, say, a Lucas Harrell or Jordan Lyles. But I think he'd be well served to hasten his pace. I think he could get the hitters kind of hitterish by working more quickly, and maybe they've chased more of those borderline pitches.
Foul ball again. Gio Gonzalez on deck. Galarraga deserves a lot of credit for working his way back up to the big leagues this year.
Hey, better. Swing better.
Game really slowing down. San Diego shut out the Cubs in San Diego 2-0. Clayton Richard going to 9-11 with a win over Jeff Samardzija, who's 7-10. Cubs have dropped into a slump.
Yeah, they were playing pretty well there for a while. They brought up some kids, Brett Jackson, their prospect center fielders up, Vitters, and now Galarraga a little frustrated with Corcoran or frustrated just in general over the circumstances. And I want to talk this over and try to get out of this mess.
Cubs have lost 8 in a row now. Cincinnati lost again. I believe it's the Reds' longest losing streak of the year now, 4. They dropped the 3-2 game in Milwaukee. John Axford won that one, beating Jonathan Broxton. And Henderson got his second save. Deanna Navarro hit his first home run as a Red. Carlos Gomez, number 10 with Milwaukee. Ground ball, foul.
Thank you. I would have scored 2.
Yes, it would have.
Well, Pittsburgh is scoring, has scored a couple in the bottom of the 5th. They lead the Diamondbacks 6-4 in Pittsburgh. Just going to assume that Chris Johnson's hit a home run tonight.
Oh, boy. Well, we'll check. He sure has been. I think he has 5 in the last 5 games.
2 last night.
No, he doesn't so far tonight. But it's only the 5th inning. He hit what, 1 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th last night, drove in 5 in those 2 innings alone. So that highly respected Pittsburgh bullpen got whacked by CJ. Swing and a miss. And that's the strikeout to end the 3rd for the Nationals with no runs, 2 hits, 3 men stranded. They lead at 3-1.
As we move to the bottom of the 3rd, time for our progressive fan of the game. You know, the Astros have been doing quite a bit over the last couple of seasons to honor our military. Well, our fan of the game is a young man who has the same attitude. 8-year-old Connor Bennett was recently at one of the Wada fan events at a Whataburger. Chris Johnson, Larry Durker were there. He got some autographs. But there was also a member of the military that walked in, so Connor took his signed poster over and gave it as a gift to the member of the military. That was a very nice gesture, Connor. Are you having fun tonight?
Yes.
His father, Tim, Connor's a little camera shy. His father, Tim, is going to serve as his spokesperson for the day. Had to be very proud of the young man.
I am. He's a good little boy.
So he's here with his teammates, and where do you guys play?
We're from the Woodlands Defenders.
And you just finished your season?
We did the end of June, and we're about to start up for the fall.
So these guys, there's baseball players. That's pretty much all they play?
Oh, 8-year-old baseball.
So Connor's here to see some of his heroes. They've all been spending the afternoon getting autographs, but we heard about that story, that nice gesture of giving his poster to a member of the military. So we want to honor you, Connor, by making you our progressive fan of the game, buddy. Way to go. Tim, thank you, too. You guys enjoy the game. Brownie, back to you.
Nice going, Connor. Foul ball by Altuve up the right field line. Jose opened the Astros first with a double and came around to score on a Maxwell single. Gio Gonzalez won one of the Pitcher of the Month awards in the National League. His was in May. That's a big curveball for a strike. Steven Strasburg won a Pitcher of the Month award. So did Jordan Zimmerman. It's the first time in 33 years that 3 National League teammates have all been Pitcher of the Month. And they could get another one.
Not even Glavin, Maddox, and Smoltz did that, eh?
It's crazy.
33 years, you said?
First time in 33 years.
Does it say who did it 33 years ago?
No, it doesn't.
When was 33 years ago?
I'm not sure.
I don't want to do the math.
Well, let's see. 89? Is that? No. It would have been
79?
79, yeah. Let's see. 79. 3 pitchers on the 79.
Seaver, Matlack, Candelaria. Pittsburgh won the World Series that year.
Yeah. Altuve's down on strikes. Strikeout number 1 for Gonzalez.
And we haven't seen that curveball very much from Gonzalez because the Astro hitters have been attacking early. It's been a lot of fastballs so far, but now he's getting that breaking ball going and able to feed Altuve with a couple of good hooks to finish him off there.
Matt Downs hit a fly ball to center back in the first inning. Well, back when Gonzalez beat the Astros on April 17th in Washington 1-0, Brad Lidge got the save. That's ball 1. So things have indeed changed in that bullpen picture with Tyler Clippard, who got the hold in that game. Now their closer, and Drew Storen is back from his injury. But it's a bullpen with a lot of appearances lately. Clippard something like 5 of the last 6, and Storen 4 of the last 5, and Ryan Matthews 4 of the last 5. So Gio Gonzalez would like to keep them out of this game tonight. That's a line into left field. Downs went up for that pitch and hammered it. Hit number 4 for the Astros. Downs aboard for Steve Pearce now.
Similar to a swing he had last night. Getting that top hand through, hitting the ball on a line.
Pearce singled to left field in the first inning. The hit between third and shortstop. Espinosa and Lombardozzi set up for a double play. It rolls to Espinosa's left. Flips. Lombardozzi on over to LaRoche. And it's 6-4-3. It's a 9-pitch inning, and it's double play number 91 for the Nationals. They lead it 3-1. Right after AT&T Trivia comes your way. Davey Johnson in the background. Here's the question. Davey and the Orioles swept the Dodgers in the 1966 World Series. Who was the series MVP?
Good question.
What would your answer be if somebody asked you that question right now?
Frank Robinson.
I think I would go with Frank also. Gio Gonzalez hit a 2-run homer to give his club the lead. It's no balls, 2 strikes.
Jim Palmer is he on the 66 club?
Yes. That was a 4-game sweep, right?
I don't know.
Strikeout number 4 for Galarraga. Might not have been. Let's see if we can get the answer right now. In fact, who was the MVP of the World Series? Frank Robinson, 316, 2 homers, 3 runs batted in.
Frank Robinson, who was the National League MVP as a Red, then the American League MVP as an Oriole.
And then he managed the Montreal Expos.
Is he still the only guy to win MVPs in both leagues?
I believe you're right. Yep.
Davey Johnson holds the record for home runs in a season by a second baseman. He had 43 with the O's. With the proliferation of home runs in the last 20 years or so, it's kind of surprising to see that record still stand.
1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah.
He's 1. I believe Rogers Hornsby is 2 and Ryan Sandberg 3.
Popped up into left field. Gonzalez looks over to J.D. Martinez. 2 outs for Galarraga. He could use a quick inning. He had 2 quick outs in the second, and then the roof caved in.
2 outs in the third before single double walk to load the bases. He got out of it in that inning.
You know, Brad Mills brought up a good point when we were asking him about last night's effort by Jordan Lyles. He said he got that first man in every inning. It does make it easier not to be in the stretch. That's strike 1 to Harper. Especially if you go in the stretch and they call a balk on you. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. It's fairly unusual, I think, JD. You would be able to speak to this better than I. For the home plate umpire to call that type of balk for not stopping. A third base umpire would have a good view and a right-handed batter. Doesn't mean he didn't do it, but it didn't look like a very good call in the replay.
Yeah, and like I said, in real time, I was right there with Angel. I thought he got it right, but in the replay, it looked like he came set. And it's the kind of call that a lot of players would accuse an umpire of. Hey, you know, to call that, you got to be looking for it. You're not supposed to be looking for that. You're supposed to be worrying about balls and strikes.
Exactly. That's strike 3. Well, he just called the pitch. Harper didn't like that one, though. And that is strikeout number 5. Harper really going after Angel Hernandez here. And the 19-year-old rookie is still out. In the middle of the 4th inning, it's 3-1.
9 Jack combo for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. And by Coushatta Casino Resort, the largest, most exciting casino resort in Louisiana. Now we go back inside the ballpark as the action continues. Brownie?
3-1, Greg. As you know, there is ball one to Justin Maxwell, who accounted for the one with an RBI single to center field in the first inning. Martinez and Corporon to follow in the Astros' fourth inning. Gio Gonzalez misses with a fastball.
Let me correct the record. It was with Atlanta in '73 where Davey Johnson hit 43 home runs to set that record for a second baseman. It's the year they had 3 guys with 40 home runs, Aaron and Darrell Evans as well as Johnson.
Yeah. 2-1. Gio Gonzalez was really something in May when he was pitcher of the month. He was 5-0 in 5 starts. At the end of May, his ERA for this season was 2.04. Quality pitch there. Makes it 2-2. Fouled away by J-Mac. Still a 2-ball, 2-strike count. This was the second straight All-Star game for Gio Gonzalez this season. He won 15 in 2010, then 16 last year. Trying to nail down his 14th tonight. He likes to play Motown music to get ready for games. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Diana Ross, did you have a favorite?
Not sure. This is his first 3-ball count of the night.
Fastball just off the outside edge. A better pitch than the one that Angel rung Harper up on.
He gets a strikeout. That's number 2. Kept that one down.
And I want to have a little cutting action down in the zone. Just continues to ride down and in on Maxwell at 94 miles an hour.
1 out, and it's J.D. Martinez. He bounced into a force play in the first inning. The throw to first bounce would have been a double play ball. There's ball 1. The Nationals don't often fail to execute in the field. They're a pretty solid club with the gloves. And they back their excellent pitching staff. Harper's over in right center. It's 2 balls, no strikes. So they really can win low scoring games. They're geared to do that. They've outscored their opponents by 84 runs this year. That's lined into center field. Martinez aboard with a 1-out single. Hit number 5 for the Astros. That matches the Nationals hit total.
Good quick bat here by JD, picking on that belt high fastball.
Carlos Corporon is the batter. Bounced into a forced play in the first inning. That's strike 1. Mike Rizzo, the general manager of the Nationals, pounced with that trade for Gio Gonzalez after last season for 4 prospects. Gonzalez on a 5-year, $42 million contract now. That one's in tight. Last year he led the American League in walks with 91 in 202 innings.
Not a big believer in that pitch to contact. He's trying to strike you out. Well, that has not been his MO here tonight.
No, it hasn't. Throws over to first.
51 major league wins already. Hey, we got another balk call.
What happened on that one?
I don't know. He's trying to set a record.
What's going on?
Okay, well, this one was called by Ed Hickox.
Hey, no, Bob.
Let's see it. No, it wasn't.
James was calling it too. Angel saying he stepped towards home. So now that's a real tough call for the home plate umpire. For me, that's got to be the first base umpire's call.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's really exaggerated, the home plate umpire can call it, but normally I think you would defer to the first base umpire who's looking right at the pitcher and has a good read on that angle as to whether he's stepping towards first or stepping towards home. It's iffy.
Angel's certainly observing.
He's got his Bach radar up tonight, boy.
He's not just saying, I'm going to take care of balls and strikes, and you guys can make the Bach calls tonight. Is that the umpire's version of the king in his court? 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Going after Bob Davidson's record. But an opportunity now for the Astros to take advantage. And the irony is JD Martinez is going to steal base.
Right. This one kicks away. He's going to third. Here's Suzuki's throw. It's there, but he's safe. Oh, Ryan Zimmerman shaking his head after that call at third by Mark Carlson. That ball was right on the base. Suzuki is aghast.
JD Martinez is like Lou Brock out there. They're balking him to first. He's going to third on this ball that barely gets away from Suzuki. I like the call. I think he was in there. It was close. He slides to that back corner, and it looked like he just beat it. And Carlson's right on top of the play.
Right there. Now runner at third, 1 out, a 3-2 count to Corcoran. Couple of unhappy Nationals there. And this fly ball will get him home. It goes out to Worth. Worth with the catch, flinging it toward the plate. And run number 2 comes in for the Astros on a sac fly by Corcoran. That's his 7th run batted in. Martinez on a rampage around the bases. Scores it.
A nice job by Corcoran. Staying short with the swing, making sure he puts that ball in play. And he got a good pitch to work with, too. Probably out of the zone, but up. And he gets the job done.
Now a 1-run lead for Gonzalez, and he faces Brandon Barnes, who hit a 1-hopper back to the pitcher in the 2nd inning. There's ball 1. He was talking about his friend who was here last night, along with his wife and father and his pastor. He said that been playing ball with me since we were about 6 years old. Lives in Austin now. 1 ball, 1 strike, and just a special moment for him. Have family and friends here for that game. Started the year at Double-A Corpus Christi. It's 1-2. Yankees are leading 8-3 at Detroit. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning with CC Sabathia on the mound. Curtis Granderson hit his 30th homer. Pittsburgh 7, Arizona 4. They played 6 in Pittsburgh. Starling Marte hit another homer, his 4th. Curveball, and Barnes strikes out. It's 1 run, 1 hit. Nobody left for the Astros through 4, 3-2 Washington.
what do you drive tomorrow? This series will wrap up as Lucas Harrell will go to the mound. It's a good thing for the Astros here lately. He's been their best pitcher, going for his 10th win. He's 3-2 win, I should say, over the Braves last time out. He went 6 2/3, gave up a couple of runs in that game in Atlanta. He goes against Jordan Zimmerman. This has been your Mazda Game Break. All right, guys, I fired up the Google machine.
What do you got?
Well, I knew this had just happened. It happened on August 2nd. It was in Daytona. The Daytona Cubs. Brian Harper came out to argue a call. The home plate umpire, everybody thought, what are you ejecting him for? He was ejecting the organist who was playing Three Blind Mice and the PA announcer. So the rest of the game, someone stood, old school, stood on a box and introduced the hitters. So there you go. So it wasn't that long ago that this actually happened.
Like that guy at the British Open?
There you go. Mario Seneca.
He's great.
Was
Line
the,
drive by Zimmerman, and it's caught by Barnes. That's out number one. Hey, Kevin, we got an invitation from Jenny Hoffman, the treasurer of the Gulf Coast Mensa organization, to attend a Mensa meeting.
Really?
Yeah.
That's heady stuff there.
Yes, it is.
That would be intimidating.
Good catch by Barnes here.
We were talking about that little guy the other day, the 3-year-old that was in the paper.
That's right.
That's a member of Mensa.
I gave him all the publicity. I knew his name, and you guys got the invitation.
Come on along. We'll all go.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just get smarter by osmosis, just being in the presence of all these smart folks.
Either that or make you feel that much dumber. One or two.
They'll have to dumb down for us. There's ball one to LaRoche. He's 0 for 2.
Right now they're saying that's not what osmosis does. Idiot.
Astros in the I formation for LaRoche. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He has not hit the ball to the right side so far with a strikeout and a fly ball to left.
So my Three Blind Mice story, I believe, was in Vero Beach. So apparently that's a big issue in the Florida State League. It's been going on there for years and years.
Two and 1 to LaRoche with Morse on deck.
This umpiring is a tough gig. You think it's tough at this level. Those minor league guys, they're not getting paid a whole lot.
Well, not only are they not getting paid a whole lot, but because of that, they usually travel in one car from city to city and get in at 3 or 4 in the morning. And, yeah, that's a tough life. 3 balls and a strike.
Probably takes some measure of satisfaction every now and then of running an organist out of the ballpark so you can tell your buddies back home over the winter. I'd had enough one night in Lakeland, and I said, "You're gone, pal."
Strike 2, and it's a full count. Umpires are promoted just as players are throughout the minor leagues. Have to earn their way up, and then, you know, people do make a lot of their salaries at the major league level, but how many years have they spent getting to that level? Very low salaries. And that's a walk to LaRoche. 47th time he's walked this year. That's the 4th of the night for Galarraga. Michael Morse single to center in the 3rd. He is 1 for 2. Galarraga walked 1 in his first start here at Houston in 5 innings. So he's just over 80 pitches for the game so far. That's strike 1 to Morse.
He crushed that ball to center field last night. The double in the 12th inning that got things started for the Nationals.
Yeah, that would have been a home run almost anywhere else.
It landed about halfway up the hill, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Almost all the way up. More than halfway up, in fact. No balls, 2 strikes. He hit it about probably 430 feet. Jose Reyes has run his hitting streak to 26 games, career high for him. It's the longest by a reigning batting champion since Joe DiMaggio's record 56 game streak in 41. Checked his swing, and it's a ball, 1-2.
Here's this ball that Morris hit last night. It's pretty impressive. One of the longest ones we've seen here at Minute Maid over the years.
Somebody said the Nationals were working out on the hill the other night during BP. 2 balls.
Practicing going up the hill and making plays, or just running up the hill for exercise?
Yeah, I think you're just messing around up there. Doing calisthenics and things like that.
Vin Scully tells that story about Smead Jolly with Boston, I guess, with practice running up there was a berm in Fenway, and he'd run up the hill and during BP and throw the ball, and then it was actually hit up there during the game, and he went to make a throw from the hill and fell on his face and threw the ball about 30 feet. He said, nope, they never taught me how to come down the hill. So we worked on going up the hill, but never worked on going down the hill.
3-2. I don't know if it was Smead Jolly or somebody else, but one of those left fielders playing in Fenway many years ago was trying to stop it. It was a line drive that was bouncing in front of him. It went through his legs. He turned around. It bounced off the wall and came back through his legs the other direction. Fouled away. Still 3-2.
Can you charge 2 errors on that play?
I think so.
Failing to catch the ball and then failing to catch the carom.
Baseball is such a difficult sport, though. You know, you get a play like the bunt play here Monday night. It makes all the highlight shows. Things that can happen on a baseball field, no matter how much practice goes into it, they just go wrong. Smoke to shortstop. Marwin with the toss. Altuve plenty of time. He could run it over to first for the double play. And that ends the top of the 5th inning with a 1-run lead for the Nats, 3-2.
Want to remind you that every Sunday home game is an Astros Family Sunday presented by Minute Maid and Kroger. The next Family Sunday is coming up August 12th when the Astros host the Brewers at 105. Fans can enjoy the Kids Fun Zone before the game and kids run the bases after the game. Tickets for that one at Astros.com. Brownie?
Marwin Gonzalez banks a line drive, and it's caught by Worth. On the first pitch here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Marwin 0 for 2. Hit that one well against Gio Gonzalez, and that'll be Armando Galarraga. And the Astros have had some problems with balls not finding holes in this series. That's kind of what you find quite often with a team as good as the Nationals and a team with the Astros 36-75 record. Little things as you watch a 4-game series can really mushroom. Galarraga grounded out earlier. There's strike one. Some people thought that the Nationals, who got 14 singles Monday night and won that game in extra innings, had almost as many soft hits as ABBA, but nonetheless they won the game.
Dancing Queen.
Yeah. Fouled away, and it's 0-2. And the Astros hit some line drives that have been caught. 51 pitches for Gio Gonzalez. Nationals are 29-17 against teams in their own division. .630 winning percentage. They have a winning record against each of their division rivals, so they seem to be in very, very good shape.
Oh,
big hook for strikeout number 4.
A close ball game, 3-2 game here. The big advantage that the Nationals have is the fact that Gonzalez has been as efficient as he has been. Talked about this earlier. He's a guy who at times can run high pitch counts because of the walks and the strikeouts. The Astros were on the attack early, swinging early. It worked to their benefit in the first. They had 3 hits in the first 4 batters, scored a run, but it's kind of backfired in that Gonzalez has only made 52 pitches here as he works with 2 outs in the 5th. And again, after back-to-back extra inning games, a tired bullpen for both these clubs really sets Gonzalez up to pitch deep into this game.
Brings that one in for strike 1 to Altuve. Jose's had a .450 on base average his last 17 games. It's 1-1. It's Atlanta 10, Philadelphia 6, bottom of the 7th in Philly.
Shame on us, Brownie.
What did we do?
For not knowing our Astros history. Remember way back, first or second inning? You mentioned about the Nationals being the first team in 33 years to have 3 different pitchers of the month.
Oh, it was let's see, Nolan. No, that was 79, right? Before Nolan. Okay.
BN before Nolan. BE before the Express.
All right, let's see. 79. Joe Niekro.
He was one of them. He won in May.
Joaquin Andujar didn't win one, did he?
He won in June.
Whoa. Let's see. Who number 3 would have been?
We already won it because you got 2 out of 3.
Okay, who's the third?
Kenny Forsch. And then actually in September, JR won.
What that?
Wow. Huh.
4 Pitcher of the Month awards to one club in 1 year.
Yeah. And the other 2 went to the Padres, or the Cubs, excuse me. Dick Tidrow, a.k.a. Dirt, and Big Daddy Rick Russell.
What that? Altuve takes a 2-out walk.
So that's a good trivia question, folks.
Very good.
You can take that out with you later on, or to work tomorrow. You can say, hey, Astros had 3 pitchers of the month in 1979. Can you name them?
Altuve is aboard for Matt Downs, who singled to left in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. Baltimore leads Seattle 9-2. They played 7 in Baltimore. Mark Reynolds hit his 9th. Nick Markakis his 12th. That's up for ball 1. Miami 7, the Mets nothing. They played 7 in New York. Jose Reyes having a good time coming back against his former mates. He hit his 8th homer now. And Giancarlo Stanton has hit 2 to give him 21. Our own Mike Stanton is doing Astros Live pre and post game with Kevin tonight. He's relieved that Giancarlo now has insisted that that is his name, so they don't get confused anymore.
Gio being very cautious with that stride towards first base now to make sure Angel doesn't bang him with another balk call.
What's the record for balks called by an umpire in one game? We don't have
I'm
that.
going to go sometime in the late 80s when it was a real point of emphasis. Maybe 1988.
That's right. Runner going. And the throw from Suzuki is high and late. An easy steal for Altuve. That's 23 for Jose.
And base runners have been successful with Gonzalez out there. That's 9 out of 10 now. Got a little hesitation he has in his delivery. Altuve gets in there easily.
Straight in slide. Shortest distance. 2 balls, no strikes.
I want to say that Jim Gott got called for 3 balks in an inning once.
Oh, boy. Down, smacks one to shortstop. Espinosa takes care of out number 3 to end the 5th inning with the score 3-2 Nationals.
MD Anderson Cancer Center making cancer history. August 8, 1986, celebrating his 39th birthday with his 1,000th career RBI. A 5-0 win against the Padres was Jose Cruz. Mike Scott went the distance for his 3rd shutout of the year. And that, of course, means that tonight Jose Cruz is celebrating his 65th birthday. How about that quick math? At our MD Anderson Cancer Center, this moment in history. And by the way, I have some balk information for you guys. I've been looking it up earlier. Bob Shaw has the record for most balks in one game. He had 5 for the Milwaukee Braves in 1963. The Braves themselves had 6 in that game. The all-time record in a career, Steve Carlton had 90, and in one season, Dave Stewart had 16. So there's most of the balk news you need to know.
Good stuff. Jason Worth leads it off, 3-2 Nationals. 6th inning underway. Worth has a double and 2 trips.
Bob Shaw balked Billy Williams around the bases.
Really?
Yeah, he was on first, balked him to second, balked him to third, and then balked him home.
That's great.
There's some notable birthdays for you.
Bruce Matthews. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
Dustin Hoffman, 75 years old today.
That's scary.
Yeah.
By the way,
this is Robinson.
Yeah.
Man.
Greg Lucas will be reading Brian McTaggart's Astros notebook this half inning. It's 3 balls, no strikes. It has tons of information, so you must read it. According to the tweet tonight. You like Twitter, JD?
Yeah, it has its uses for sure. I don't tweet, but I follow.
Yeah. Well, back in green light on 3-0. He fouls it.
Some good stuff on there.
Galarraga's over 90 pitches for the night. Working in the 6th inning here, trying to stretch it out. He's given up 5 hits and 3 runs, including a 2-run homer. Gio Gonzalez now a leadoff walk to Worth, the 5th walk for Galarraga. Espinosa will follow. He's grounded out and walked himself. Astros had 7 players play for the Tri-City Valley Cats, named to the All-Star team in the New York Penn League this morning.
Way to go, fellas. Congratulations.
Yeah, Absolutely. Andrew Applin, who's been leading the league in hitting, drove in 3 and scored 4 in their 13-9 win last night. Into right field past Altuve. Worth to second base, and it's first and second, nobody out on the single by Espinosa. Hit number 6. The bottom of the order rally, and Suzuki comes up next. Suzuki was hit by a pitch and scored on the Gonzalez homer. Then he struck out with the bases loaded in the 3rd. Just acquired prior to this series by the Nationals from the Oakland A's. They traded a younger catcher for him. The Nationals are pretty well stacked up in catching prospects. They needed help immediately. And they got an excellent defensive player who has had some very good offensive years. In 09, 15 homers, 88 runs batted in for Suzuki, but had fallen upon hard times this year with the bat. He only has 9 at-bats with the Nationals so far.
Xavier Cedeno has started to loosen in the Astros bullpen.
That's ball 1 to Suzuki. Galarraga nearing 100 pitches.
Brad Mills is going to make his way out to the mound.
Pitcher coming up next. Wesley Wright has had a ton of work lately. He's worked in both the games of this series. Fernando Rodriguez has worked in both games of this series so far, as has Wilton Lopez. So just a mound visit. He stays with Galarraga now. George Springer stole his 28th base last night for Lancaster and drove in 2.
Well, he's already a 20-20 man. He's got a shot at being a 30-30 guy. 30 bombs, 30 steals. That'd be a heck of a year.
Special year for George.
It's a real good offensive park he plays in, but that's an impressive feat.
1-0 now to Suzuki. And it's 2 balls, no strikes. Suzuki was quoted in one of the articles written today about the Nationals club as saying, well, he really needs to get to work on learning these Nationals pitchers because of this midseason trade and the unfamiliarity. And he's trying to do what he can to catch some of the pitchers in bullpen sessions, learn their stuff better.
Obviously, with Gonzalez, that's not an issue. He would have caught him over in Oakland. But some of the other guys, obviously not. And so you got to find out, what pitches do they go to in certain counts? What are they most comfortable with? Can they execute an inside fastball when asked to do it? What kind of movement do they have on their fastball just to get used to catching it? Some guys have livelier fastballs, tougher to handle than others.
Way outside, and it's 3 balls and a strike. It just appears that Galarraga is right on that ragged edge here, around the 100 pitch mark, and he walked the first man, then gave up a hit to Espinosa. Now has fallen behind 3-1 on Suzuki. Brad Mills trying to get a little bit more out of him right now. And now another walk, loads the bases with nobody out, and Gio Gonzalez coming up. Walk number 6. As we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. It was a 1-1 game when Gio Gonzalez stepped up, runner at first, 2 outs in the 2nd inning. Hit his first major league homer.
And 2 outs, nobody on, and Galarraga hit Suzuki in the backside with a pitch. And Gonzalez jumped all over that. first big league home run, and that's going to do it for Armando Galarraga here tonight.
He leaves after 5 innings plus. He has walked 6. He's given up 6 hits. We'll be right back.
Pitching change. More on that in just a moment. But we want to remind you that Chevy is proud to present Chevy Hometown Kids. This is a show that's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Houston, or you can go to hometownkids.tv for more information. Brownie, back to you.
Thanks, Bart. Xavier Cedeno warming up. Bases loaded, nobody out. What a jam with the Astros trailing 3-2. He's been in 20 games with an ERA of 4.20.
Well, the good news is he's got the opposing pitcher due up here in Gio Gonzalez. The bad news is Gonzalez has already gotten deep tonight. And then he's got the top of the order, Lombardozzi, Harper, Zimmerman to follow up Gonzalez. Double play sure would be sweet here for X-Man.
He pitched Monday night, 2/3 of an inning, not allowing a hit or a run. Came in with the Astros trailing by a run in the 7th inning. Now they're down by a run in the 6th. Gonzalez, after his 2-run homer in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th inning. Here's the first baseman in tight. Downs even with a bag at 3rd. With a forced play at home on Worth. And the middle infielders are in halfway. Strike 1 to Gonzalez. Cedeno came in to a bases loaded situation here June 18th against Kansas City and got a save.
Not a bad idea to start him. First pitch breaking ball. Middle infielders will have an option here whether to come home or try to turn 2 in the middle of the diamond, depending on the type of ground ball they get, if they get one.
Swing there, 0-2. This is the 5th time in his 21 appearances with the Astros this year that he's come in with the bases loaded. He has inherited 21 runners overall, and 6 have scored. Bases loaded, nobody out, though. If 1 runner scores, he's done a tremendous job.
Yeah.
Bang to 3rd. Matt Downs will come to the plate for the force. Corcoran will not make a throw. That's out number 1 from 5-2. And Worth, as the runners are taught to do, trying to slide to the inside of the bag and get the catcher tied up so he can't turn his body and make that throw to first for a double play.
It looked like Corcoran was in position to make a throw here, though. It looked like he had a little time. I guess maybe when he felt that contact, he just decided to hang on. Or maybe he didn't feel like he had an angle.
Could be.
Didn't want to risk making an errant throw, sail one down the right field line, and 3 runs jog home.
That's for sure. Now Lombardozzi, who has walked, doubled, and flied to left. Coming up as a switch hitter, gets that advantage of batting right this time, where he's a .299 hitter. Oh, this one sails by Corcoran. Oops, they put the brakes on. Espinosa started home, then he jammed on the brakes and got back. And this is an area, it's a tough decision for the runner at third, because that ball can kick back to the catcher very quickly in this ballpark with that wall right behind the plate. So he got to it fast. Whoa! How about that roll?
Yeah, this is funky. He keeps going. He probably would have been able to score the run, but he doesn't know how things are going to end up for Corcoran there. Carlos took that extra roll.
That's crazy. The Russian judge just gave him a 4. That is nuts.
Hog Strikes brought to you by TxDOT. Drink, drive, go to jail. There's that errant fastball. No damage done.
Strike there, and it's 1-1 to Lombardozzi.
Not a lot of chances with the bases loaded, but he sure has been good. 4 out of 5 with 8 driven in.
He pops it up. Corcoran back. Hughes is there watching. Whoa, he stumbled.
Oh my.
The adventures of Carlos. It was a crazy at bat for him, out number 2.
He tripped on the star on the on deck circle over there.
Sure did. It's slick. I got the edge of it. Okay.
Good concentration. Hey, Cedeno's got a chance here to give the Astros a big lift.
Oh, you know it. Harper's the batter. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Scored a run in the first inning on that balk. Good stop there by Corp. Ball 1 in the dirt.
Harper's 0 for Houston so far. He's not had a hit yet in this series. Corcoran showing his range back there in this inning. Been all over the place.
What's his range factor for a catcher? Chucky Fick is warming up in the Astros bullpen. Gets down to the point for both these managers of preferring to go with a fresh arm sometimes. It's 2-0, and you know, pitching coaches will tell you, JD, you probably sign on to this. You keep going back to the same relievers time after time, 4 times in 5 games, 5 times in 6 games. It can become a real problem for them to have that same command that they have when they get the rest.
Yeah, because when you're not fresh and the ball's not leaving your hand, you know, just you don't have that good feel. You try to force it, and when you do that, you misfire.
Now 3-0 on Harper. A real dilemma for Cedeno. Chucky Fick warming up. We'll see what Harper gets. He's been slumping. Does he get a green light? Zimmerman on deck. Good pitch. 3-1. Tampa Bay beat Toronto 3-2 at home for Tampa Bay.
He bites his jersey. See that?
No.
Yeah, biting his jersey.
Okay. Oh! After the argument last time on called strike 3, he's going to come back home and he won't say a word.
It's already been said. Dropping the bat and starting to first base. Now, I was with him. Well, that was borderline too. The one he got rung up on last time was clearly down and off the plate.
Three, 2 outs. The runners move on this one.
It looked like it was off the edge a little bit, but a better pitch than he got rung up on last time.
Oh, struck him out looking, and Harper snaps. Boy, is he hot. So that's twice he feels he was unfairly rung up. But what a job. Bases loaded, nobody out. Cedeno gets out with a 0. Finale of this 4-game series. It is Jordan Zimmermann, 8-6 with a 2.45 ERA. It's Lucas Harrell, 9-7 with a 3.98. And it's on tomorrow night, 6:30 for Astros Live on FS Houston. Back to Minute Maid Park, where we had excitement in the top of the 6th inning. The Nationals loaded the bases with nobody out. Xavier Cedeno coming in to bail out Armando Galarraga.
How about that? This game could have really turned ugly there in the 6th, and the Nationals looking for some significant separation for Gio Gonzalez, and Xavier Cedeno just slams the door. Not on my watch.
Now the Astros come up with the 3-4-5 hitters in the 6th inning. Steve Pearce singled to left in the 1st, bounced into a double play in the 3rd. Gio Gonzalez had 61 pitches for the night, 37 of them strikes. Gets a call there, strike 1. Gonzalez has walked 1. He walked Altuve in the last inning and struck out 4. Breaks that one into the dirt for a 1-1 count. Starting rotation very strong for the Nationals. Best ERA among all National League rotations, 3.20. That's in the air to right. Jason Worth, 1 down.
Atlanta had seen their 6-1 lead disappear to the Phillies with a 5-run Philly 5th, but since then they've taken charge of that game again. 4 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. Atlanta now leads the Fighting Phils 12-6 in Philadelphia. Giants 3 runs in the 6th. They're still batting lead. The Cardinals 5-zip. Is that Vogelsong tonight for San Francisco?
I believe so, JD. Justin Maxwell singled in a 1st inning run. He struck out in the 4th. Curveball works for strike 1 for Gonzalez. Here's that sharp hook, and it really can start well off the plate and come back into the strike zone. That one skims in low. J-Max now has 12 hits in his last 32 at bats. With gaudy numbers in his last 9 games. Yankees 10, Detroit 8, bottom of the 8th inning in Detroit. Angel calls that as a strike, as swinging the bat. It's 1-2. He's really taking charge on everything. Of course, that is his call. Can be his call. It could be appealed to first, but he's called balks tonight.
Careful now. He hears your dad talking to him. He's going to run you out of here.
Well, that's possible. Kansas City shutting out the White Sox 2-0 bottom of the 7th. Jeremy Guthrie. He's had a rough year too. 2 balls, 2 strikes to J-Max.
Well, I think pitchers that get traded to Colorado are just going to retire from now on. Just going, no, I'm not going to do it. We need some hazard pay.
Yeah. Salvador Perez hit his 6th home run for KC. J-Max looks at ball 3 and it's a full count. Mike Moustakas his 17th home run of the year. Well, the losing streak is over with the Indians. They beat Minnesota 6-2. And that snaps the string at 11. Justin Masterson winning it. That's ball 4. Second walk for Gonzalez. JD Martinez is the batter.
Gonzalez clearly frustrated with the call by Angel Hernandez, number 7 there. So Angel's giving some wiggle room off that outside edge, significant wiggle room, but on the inside part of the plate, a little tighter. Much to the chagrin of Gio Gonzalez.
JD bounced into a force in the first inning, singled up the middle in the 4th, took second on a balk, third on a wild pitch, scored on a sac fly. The Astros made the most of their 1 hit in the 4th, a single, and got him around. Miami's unloading on the Mets 13-0 in the 9th inning. That's to right field. Backs up Worth. Worth with the grab just shy of the warning track on out number 2. J-Max played it halfway. Now it's Carlos Corporon coming up. He delivered that sac fly, chasing Martinez home with run number 2 for Houston in the 4th. Roy Oswalt again struggled today for Texas, but the Rangers beat Boston 10-9. Oswalt working in relief. Josh Hamilton hit his 30th homer, and he now, like the Tigers slugger Miguel Cabrera, has 95 runs batted in. Brandon Barnes on deck. Line shot caught by Gio. And that ends the 6th inning on the liner by Corporon. No runs, no hits, and a man stranded. After 6, 3-2 Nats. Reverse replay. We take a look at bases loaded, nobody out for Xavier Cedeno. He gets a ground ball to third. Matt Downs with the force play at the plate. That's out number one. Now a pop-up. Carlos Corcoran over. Don't trip on the on-deck circle. That's out number two. And strike three looking on Bryce Harper.
Here's your star of the game for the Astros. If they manage to come back and win this one, they've got to put some runs on the board, and they've got to continue to string some zeros. It falls now to Chucky Fick to do that. Francisco comes into the double switch to play left field. And Chuck Fick trots out there on one of the 7.94 ERA so far this year. Time here with the Astros and a little bit with the Cardinals.
Lost his debut game here against the Pirates July 28th, entering with the score tied 3-3 in the seventh, giving up one run in one inning.
This is his fourth appearance in an Astro uniform. Ground ball type pitcher, tries to sink the fastball.
That was ball one to Zimmerman. Chucky worked 3 innings Tuesday night at Milwaukee. He's had 7 days of rest. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. That's the double switch that puts him into the number 5 spot in the order. JD Martinez leaving the game, and Ben Francisco batting 9th with the idea that Chucky stay in this game for a while. Liner left field, headed for the corner. Zimmerman's headed for second base. Francisco plays the carom. An opening double for Zimmerman. He's 2 for 4. That's his 25th two-base hit of the year.
Under the category of hard to keep a good man down. Just an awful night for him last night. 0 for 5, including punching out in his final 4 plate appearances. Zimmerman swinging it well here tonight. Single double. A line out back in the 5th.
Now it's LaRoche. That was hit number 7. LaRoche is 0 for 2 with a walk. Chucky went 3 innings a week ago last night at Milwaukee. That was the longest outing by an Astros reliever. This one gets away, and Zimmerman is wild pitch to third base. Ball 1 to LaRoche.
A wild pitch, ball in the dirt, but you know, if Carlos, instead of trying to backhand this one, if he slides over and squares up behind him, this has been a problem for the Astros all year. They're charged with a lot of wild pitches. But the catchers haven't helped out a whole lot in a lot of those balls.
Now the infielders move in halfway for the middle infielders. Well, they're all halfway, in fact, as you see. Now back, and it's 1-1. Last time we checked, and we'll look at it again, the Astros were second in wild pitches to the Rockies this season in the National League. $16,038 the attendance tonight. Ground ball, the runner is holding. Altuve checks him, goes to first. Zimmerman still at third, 1 out. Now Michael Morse, who singled in the 3rd inning to extend his hitting streak to 17 games, is 1 for 3.
This is a nice job here by Altuve. A good deployment by the infield, halfway in, and forces the man on third to read it. Nobody out there, not going to go on contact there, so he's got to read it off the bat. Obviously, if you're all the way back in the middle of the diamond, he just trots home. Now in a situation where he's much more likely to go on contact with 1 out, the infield tightens up.
And there is strike 1 call to Morse. The Astros, a wild pitch there is their 50th of the year. Colorado has the most in the National League, 62. Cincinnati has 21. Nationals are 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position tonight.
So much for that theory that Angels not giving anything on the inner half. That first strike looked like it was well off the plate. in, not a bad way to go with Morso. He is so strong, covers that outside part of the plate so well. He's the kind of guy I used to like to pitch in for fear he was going to hit a line drive off my forehead.
Bouncer back to the mound. Chucky Fick takes care of out number 2. Could this happen for a second straight inning? Runner at third, nobody out, and not scoring? Well, Fick can do that if he can get Worth.
Yeah, Davey Johnson has to feel really frustrated with all the walks from Galarraga, all the base runners they've had. They've left the bases loaded twice now, and here they are again with a man on third, nobody out, at risk of not getting that run home.
Worth doubled in the third. He walked in the sixth.
Feels like the kind of game where the Nationals should have about 8 runs.
It does. They have out-hit the Astros 7-5. They've left 8. The Astros have stranded 4. 6 walks by the Houston pitching staff. It's a big hack. Strike 1 to Worth.
Again, that runner moving down and in. It's like Adrian Beltre down on that back knee.
Sure is. Worth looks at it. It's a strike, and he's behind 0-2. Worth the first round pick of the Orioles in '97. Went to Toronto, LA, Phillies, and moved to Washington on a 7-year, $126 million free agent deal. Bouncer chopped to Matt Downs. Short hop play, throwing in the dirt. It gets away. The run scores, and Worth goes into second base. 4-2 Nationals. Zimmerman scoring. A softly hit ball to third.
Boy, a tough break for Chucky Fick. He was on the verge of getting out of this inning. He got another weak ground ball. This time off the bat, Worth went back in there with that sinker. And Downs does a nice job of charging. Has to hurry the throw, and Pierce just can't make the pick on the other end. Tough play all the way around.
6th error by Downs. The run is unearned. Espinosa will be given a free pass to work to Suzuki with runners at first and second. So Worth, because of the error, does not get an RBI, but the Nationals lead it by 2 now. Fick also close to putting up a 0 here in the 7th inning. We got ahead of Worth. 0-2. Got the little chopped ball. Astros charged with their 79th error of the year. They have allowed 49 unearned runs compared to the Nationals pitching staff allowing 28 unearned runs. The big difference between these two clubs in fielding. And Espinosa will take the walk. Walk number 7 for the Houston pitching staff tonight. Suzuki was hit by a pitch in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd, walked in the 6th. Heard a native of Hawaii, went to Cal State Fullerton. Alex Cobb won for Tampa Bay tonight, 3-2 over Toronto. The Blue Jays slipped to 4 games under 500 now. They've lost 8 of their last 11. They're in last place in the AL East. Strike to Suzuki.
What does Matt Trainer play for these days?
Oh boy, I can't remember. We just saw him not too long ago.
His wife just won a gold medal again.
Did she?
Volleyball, beach volleyball. Yeah. I think that's the 3rd one.
These are the Dodgers now. Third gold, and she's played in that spread over a period of 3 different Olympics.
I believe so, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, she has been at it for a long time. No balls, 2 strikes. Miami whacked the Mets 13-0. Nate Eovaldi of Alvin got his 3rd win, beating Chris Young.
Came to the Marlins from the Dodgers in the Hanley Ramirez deal. Dodgers having a hard time beating the Rockies. Lost 2 in a row to them in L.A.
That's crazy. Misty May is 35 years old, Gene Duffy says. She's been at this Olympic thing for a while. Fly ball on the left side. Marwin Gonzalez back in a shallow left field. In the 7th inning, it's 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 men left. 4-2 Nationals.
The Astros can bounce back from this 4-2 deficit. And you can follow the Astros with MLB.com @Bat12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Just text @Bat to 31826 or go to Astros.com for details. Are you guys feeding the fans Cracker Jacks down there?
We are, Bart.
You're not supposed to feed them, are you?
Yeah, we are.
All right.
It's part of our job.
Okay.
Got to feed the people. Hunter Pence's line when he hit the foul pole there and everybody got a chicken sandwich a few years back.
Right.
Got to feed the people.
How about feeding him some runs now? Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-2. The Nationals lead it. Gio Gonzalez will be throwing his 75th pitch of the game coming up to Brandon Barnes.
It seems like an ideal time for a first major league hit right here.
Oh, it is. Barnes is grounded out and struck out. He's 0 for 5 as a big leaguer.
Stop doing that.
Did that 3 times last night. 1 out.
Just a little anxious, jumping at the ball a little bit. Attacking early, but going after a pitcher's pitch. Fastball off the outside corner.
1 out, and it's Marwin Gonzalez. 0 for 2. Hit the ball on the line to the right fielder in the 5th inning.
Don't fret, Brandon. Willie Mays started his career 0 for 21 or something like that.
Yeah.
1 for 21, 0 for 80, whatever it was, it wasn't good.
Strike to Gonzalez. Ben Francisco's on deck. He's in the number 9 spot in the order now. Atlanta beat the Phillies in Philadelphia 12-6. Chad Durbin got that win in relief. Ball's good for a strike, and that makes it 0-2 to Gonzalez.
Kendrick started for Philly tonight, I believe.
Yeah, he took Joe Blanton's spot in the rotation when Blanton was traded to the Dodgers. Marwin chases one and strikes out. That's number 5 for Gonzalez.
Gonzalez's last start, he pitched 8 innings, punched out 10, didn't walk anybody. He's certainly capable of high strikeout games. Time he elevates the fastball and Marwin cannot lay off.
Francisco's up for the first time. Ben hit a homer last night, his second as an Astro. He's driven in 4 with a .262 average. Ben 1 for 5 in this series. Strike 1 to him. Kendrick gave up 6 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings tonight.
Hudson get the win?
Hudson did not. He gave up 6 and 4 1/3.
Ooh.
Durbin was the winner.
Oh yeah, you mentioned
That Brave bullpen though had to work hard. 6 relievers used tonight by Freddie Gonzalez.
Freddie managing hard for that win.
He is.
Looking forward to let these Nationals get too far out ahead of him.
Strikeout number 7 rather, and it's a 7-pitch inning. Strikeout number 6. After 7 innings, it's 4-2 Nationals.
By Hyundai, it's stylish, intelligent, safe, and affordable, and you're probably looking at a Hyundai. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by the motion picture Premium Rush in theaters August 24th. To the top of the 8th we go. It's dark outside. It's nice and bright inside under the lights. The Astros still trailing. We go to the top of the 8th. There's Bill and JD.
4-2 is the score, and the Nationals with Chucky Fick on the mound for the Astros as pitcher number 3 have needed only one pitcher, Gio Gonzalez. He leads it off in the 8th inning. He provided a 2-run homer that snapped a 1-1 tie in the 2nd. There's strike 1 to him. He's 1 for 3. Well, Gonzalez helping himself with that offense early, then has Cruz, and he's in line for win number 14 of the year if he keeps it going. No balls, 2 strikes. He'll be facing the top of the order in the bottom of the 8th inning for Houston. Altuve, Downs, and Pierce.
All right, rocking the lucky green hair.
Gonzalez strikes out. Number 1 for Chucky Fick, and number 7 for Astros pitching. Lombardozzi walked to lead off the game. He doubled in the 2nd. He's 1 for 3 with that walk. Punches that one out of play. There's strike 1. Mark Krause has been promoted from AA Corpus Christi to AAA Oklahoma City. He had his AAA debut last night. Went 1 for 3 with an RBI. Jimmy Paredes 2 for 5 with a double. That was his 3rd game in center field. Good play there by Pierce, tossing to Fick. 2 outs. Chucky got over in good shape.
Good underhand toss from Pierce.
Bryce Harper's the batter. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. 0 for 11 in this series. Harper looks at ball one. It was 9-8 in Oakland. The A's beating the Angels. The 5-run sixth for Oakland. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
He's not biting his jersey this at bat. He was last time, and it was probably because there was a lefty on the mound.
Okay.
That was his way of reminding himself to keep that front shoulder in against a lefty.
Interesting technique.
Just my guess, but
yeah, makes some sense.
Sometimes a golfer will take his shirt and kind of tuck it under his arm to make sure he keeps that arm tight to his body, and maybe that's a little reminder that Harper has to keep that front side in against a lefty.
Harper calls time. The Oakland A's have hit 123 home runs this year. That's their most in a season since '09. Harper takes the walk. His second. That's 8 walks for Astros pitchers. Ryan Zimmerman has 2 hits and 4 at bats. You know, the A's, if they stay in contention, are going to be facing maybe some similar challenges as the Nationals in terms of shutting down starting pitchers when they reach their innings targets for the year. Have a couple of guys who might be running into that situation in September.
So did they have a plan they were going to shut guys down, or?
I'm not sure, JD. Dan Straley, who started tonight, is one of those guys who's pretty close to his innings limit. I would imagine they would follow that. Davey Johnson has said the Nationals will follow that with Steven Strasburg. There were some interesting comments today. Sports Weekly, which comes out on Wednesdays, ran a pretty in-depth spread on the Nationals and some of the other contending clubs, talking about the Strasburg issue and others. And USA Today had an article with quotes from other players from other teams talking about the Strasburg thing, saying, boy, that'd be tough. Take your best pitcher and shut him down. We understand, but boy, that's something that we would like to have on our team. Bouncer slowly hits the Downs left. And he gets the 3rd out. No runs, no hits, a man left. Middle of the 8th inning, 4-2 Washington. On this ball hit off Matt Downs' glove, and this is in the 1st inning. Lombardozzi trying to score from second. He fires to the plate. Carlos Corpora onto the tag. Lombardozzi is out.
Lombardozzi running through the stop sign of Bo Porter, the third base coach, who then had to do a belly flop to make sure he didn't get hit by that throw from Downs. And a really nice play by Matt, and bad base running by Lombardozzi, especially with nobody out.
Altuve has a double and a walk in 3 trips. How's that one for strike one? Jose, one of 10 rookies the Astros have utilized this season. They have the youngest current roster in the majors, average age of 26.6 years. That's high at 94, so the velocity is still there for Gio Gonzalez.
He went 8 innings last time out, but was efficient in that game as well, throwing just 101 pitches in 8 innings.
That's called a strike, and it's 1-2.
Contrast that with the start he had back at the beginning of July, in which he went just 5 innings against Atlanta and threw 114 pitches. So able to execute his game plan here tonight and save that bullpen.
2-2. It's a relief for a pitcher on another team to come to Houston and be in air conditioning this time of year. Backhanded. Here's Lombardozzi with a jump throw and the stretch by LaRoche. Fine play. It looked like a hit off the bat, but Lombardozzi got to it and then one hopped it over to LaRoche.
Yeah, really nice play by Lombardozzi. And if he tries to carry that ball all the way to LaRoche in the air, he probably doesn't get enough on it.
You know, a lot of times the first baseman will just tell the other infielders, just throw it in the area where I am. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about making a perfect throw. Matt Downs is 1 for 3. Looking at ball 1. Giants are pummeling St. Louis 7-0 in the 7th. Popped up. LaRoche over for this one. 2 outs now for Gonzalez, who's just cruising along with his 4-2 lead. Even though his club is stranded 11, the Astros have left 4. It's still close enough. And Pierce will be the batter. The Astros have that chance here. Pierce 1 for 3. And the Nationals lead after 8 innings. They're 57-2. Strike to Pierce. Gio Gonzalez does not have a complete game this season. Foul back.
One complete game in his career came in 2010 in Chicago against the White Sox.
Suzuki felt that one.
Back in the day when catchers just wear their cap underneath their mask.
Yeah. Ooh. 89 pitches for Gonzalez. That one hit him. Pierce hit by the 0-2 pitch. Looks like he got him around the right forearm, right elbow. Angel Hernandez waited. Hickox is the umpire at first. Now Justin Maxwell represents the tying run.
On that right arm, Angel Hernandez first checking to see if it was a swing at the first base umpire and then granting Pierce's base. I guess he wasn't checking, but he was getting it from Hickox. Hickox letting him know no swing.
Yeah. The umpires do communicate on plays like that.
Well, and all of a sudden, just like that, Justin Maxwell up there with a chance to tie the ball game.
And he's the guy the Astros wanted to plate in these situations with his 12 home runs. Leading the guys in the lineup tonight. Fouling it back, strike one. Jed Lowry leads the club with 14. Maxwell drove in a first inning run with a single. He struck out in the 4th. He walked in the 6th.
That's a good pitch.
Yeah. 1-1.
You just said the same thing. That's a good pitch.
Sure did. Fox track shows it.
Harper's out there in center field. Just strike on me.
Little tap to third, charged by Zimmerman, barehanding, no play. Infield hit for Maxwell. And now it'll be Chris Snyder pinch hitting for the pitcher. Batting for Chucky Fick.
Zimmerman was deep with Maxwell up there, had a long way to go, had no throw.
Brad Mills could use an extra base hit, and Snyder's the right-handed bat he has available on his bench. He's already used Ben Francisco, and the other hitters are left-handed. Snyder 174, 5 homers, 20 runs batted in. He's delivered 6 doubles in addition to his 5 long balls. And that's ball 1.
The Nationals are going to try to stay away from Snyder here. He's a strong guy, a pull hitter. Last thing he might do is make a mistake that he can jerk into the seats for a 3-run bomb. So they're staying away. And Snyder's a patient hitter. Usually works a deep count.
Work around on deck.
He's certainly strong enough to go out and get a pitch on the outer third and hook it into the seats.
Snyder 0 for 2 against Gonzalez with 2 strikeouts in his career. That's a strike, and it's 2-1. Astros pinch hitters have come through with 40 hits and 154 at bats. Yep, 4 pinch homers for Houston this season. Ooh, that makes it tough. 2-2 now. Gio got one back.
Just kind of all over the place out there, isn't he? That outside corner, sometimes a diamond, sometimes a stone.
I can't afford to take anything close out there. And he taps one to shortstop. Espinosa with the play to win the 8th with no runs a hit, 2 men stranded. Moving to the 9th, it's 4-2 Washington.
Playoff push gets into full swing when the Red Sox head to the Bronx to take on the American League East leading Yankees in a showdown between bitter division rivals. Or you might see the surprising Pirates battle the Cardinals in St. Louis. Fox Saturday Baseball telecast presented by Budweiser returns August 18th at 2:30 p.m. Brownie, back to you.
Thanks, Bart. Reiner Cruz is warming up for the 9th inning. The Astros trail by 2, 4-2. Cruz's job to keep it right there here in the 9th as he becomes pitcher number 4 with a 1-1 record and a 7.61 ERA.
We've got some dangerous hitters coming up for the Nationals. Adam LaRoche, big slugger from the left side, and then a couple of powerful right-handed hitters in Michael Morse and Jason Worth. Bullpen has done a nice job. So Daniel getting out of that bases loaded jam, worked a scoreless inning. Fick allowed 1 run in 2 innings, but it was unearned. Galarraga, despite walking 6 and being on the edge all night long, managed to get through it, having allowed just the 3. So the Astros with a fighting chance in the bottom of the 9th if Reiner could post a 0 here in the top.
LaRoche is 0 for 3 with a walk. Altuve stations himself in right field. That's in the air to center. Barnes over a few steps. 1 pitch, 1 out for Cruz. The pitching line on Fick, 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, as JD mentioned, not earned. 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Morse extended his streak to 17 games with a 3rd inning single. He's 1 for 4. Cruz last pitched Sunday in Atlanta, giving up 1 run in 1 inning, walking a couple. So Brad Mills has gone to some different relievers, Cedeno, Fick, and Cruz, who had not been pitching in this series prior to tonight. Marwin Gonzalez to his left. Now throw a little bit off, but Pierce gets over for out number 1. No, number 2 rather. And it's Worth coming up.
Nationals attacking early against Reiner Cruz, and Reiner at times really struggles with his control. First pitch swinging the first 2 hitters and 2 quick outs for Reiner. Worth's going to take a little extra time on deck. Allow Gio Gonzalez to get a little bit of a blow there in the dugout.
That's probably better than taking a pitch, right?
Well, he may do both.
Yeah, he might.
Normally you see a hitter take a pitch in this situation if he's aware of the situation, and the fact that Worth spent a little time over there, you have to assume he knows what transpired ahead of him. But again, this is the point I made the other day. Taking 1, does it really buy that pitcher a whole lot more time? I mean, sometimes I think if a hitter goes up there and hacks, he's going to see a first pitch fastball because the guy on the mound assumes he's taking.
Broken bat, it goes to Downs. And over to Pierce. That's a 4-pitch inning. 1-2-3 for Reiner Cruz. Now Gio Gonzalez goes out for the 9th, leading 4-2.
Coverage begins on Thursday, August 16th, as the Bengals take on Matt Ryan and the Falcons. Then on Friday, August 17th, Matt Stafford and the Lions head to Baltimore to square off against Ray Lewis and the Ravens. Coverage of both games begins at 7 o'clock Central, only on Fox. I tell you something, Brownie, out of Falcons camp, I'm hearing that Jack Wiz Rogers, the young man out of Lamar Consolidated High School, is making quite a splash out there, playing very well for the Falcons.
Good. There's strike one as the bottom of the ninth gets underway. Carlos Corporon 0 for 2 with the sac fly. 100th pitch is coming up for Gonzalez. He has a new left fielder, Roger Bernardina, in the game. Taking over there for Mike Morse. Off the mound, it goes to the shortstop. Espinosa plays it well. 1 out. Nationals have 1 complete game. That's by Edwin Jackson. Brandon Barnes is 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 6 as a major leaguer. Marwin Gonzalez on deck. And Ben Francisco could come to the plate. Gonzalez shooting for win number 14. That's ball 1 for Gonzalez. Giants are really blasting St. Louis 11-0 in the top of the 8th. That's lined into right field, and a first major league hit for Brandon Barnes. A nice moment as his wife and his best friend, his dad, is here as well. And they applaud this single.
Swinging at that pitch out the outside part of the plate consistently. This time he gets enough on it to punch it into right field, and a big moment. Good stuff.
Wife Sean, 1-year-old, and they witnessed the first major league hit of Barnes after going 0 for 6. He's on for Marwin Gonzalez now.
Help him relax a little bit. Extend that 0 for run for too long and really start to press.
Strike 1 to Gonzalez. Barnes looks across at Dave Clark. Ben Francisco on deck.
And not been a single soul up in that Nationals bullpen all night long.
Fouled away, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Marwin Gonzalez lined out to the right fielder in the 5th inning. Hits are even at 7. We actually awarded Roger Bernardina the save in last night's game. The official scorer gave it to Tyler Clippard. Great catch by Bernardina to win that game. Just a fantastic game-ending catch. One of the best.
They call him the Shark.
I heard that. Didn't realize that. He's in left field with Harper staying in center. It's 2-2. Medina known for his spectacular catches. Sabathia won his 12th. The Yankees beat Detroit 12-8. Beat Anibal Sanchez. And the throw goes over on Barnes. Barnes had 21 stolen bases in the minors this year. Some at AA, some at AAA. Bouncer to second. Lombardozzi on over to first for the second out. Barnes going to second base. And now Francisco bats. Francisco struck out in the 7th inning. He came in a double switch. Jose Altuve's on deck.
In a home run the other day off Nationals left-hander Ross Detweiler. And he'll get a fastball from Gio that he could turn around. Not that one. That's what he had in mind. That was dandy of a fastball. 92 miles an hour. The tailing action, outside corner, bottom of the knees. That's a safe fastball right there. He's only allowed 6 home runs all year.
That one's out of the zone. It's 1-1. Francisco 0 for 4 against Gio Gonzalez. Now 2 balls and a strike. With the Braves having won 12-6 at Philadelphia, the Nationals are trying to maintain their 4-game lead. Lucas Harrell and Jordan Zimmerman tomorrow night at 7:05 here. That's out to left field. Bernardina in, diving, and Bernardina is not catching it. And it's 4-3. Bernardina rolled over a little bit. We couldn't see the baseball, but it was behind him. And Francisco has an RBI single, scoring Barnes.
That's rather ironic. The guy who made the game-saving catch for the Nationals last night gets a late break on this sinking line drive off the bat of Ben Francisco. He cannot put away the final out of the ball game. Bernardina with a real bad break on that one, and the Astros they get within 1. Francisco's watching this play out. Probably should be busting it down the line, give himself a chance to get to second base.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I get his interest in the play, and the likelihood that he makes second base there is very small, but you know, you're better off going hard down the line and giving yourself a chance in case that ball kicks away from the outfielder and you get into scoring position. It's a 1-run game.
Now he's lifted for a pinch runner, Brian Bogusevic. Francisco picks up the RBI. Bogusevic runs for him at first base. That was hit number 8 for the Astros.
11 innings Monday, 12 innings last night. Let's go for 13.
And let's see with 2 outs if he might be going. Liner into center field, a hit. Bogusevic heads for third base. Bryce Harper will air it out to third. Not in time. The throw is backed up by the pitcher. Tremendous play by Gio Gonzalez diving. Altuve winds up at second, but that could have gone out of play. That could have allowed the tying run to score.
Yeah, a dangerous throw on a couple levels. And one, it allows Altuve to move into scoring position. And he had no real legitimate shot at Bogusevic there. So bad play by Harper. Another good swing from Altuve in a season full of them. Now, Harper's got a big arm and capable of making plays, but he wasn't going to get Bogusevic there. The play was second base. He is allowed the winning run into scoring position.
Now runners at second and third, and Matt Downs. Ryan Matthews warming up for the Nationals. So it should be a throwing error on Harper.
Never mind 13 innings. Let's just win in 9.
Well, once again, the Astros are in position here in their last at bat. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. There is no error up on the scoreboard right now on that throw by.
I think they're ruling that Altuve went to second on the throw. Not the fact that it got away, but just on the throw itself.
Okay. Downs with strike 1. He singled in the third inning. He's 1 for 4. Steve Pearce is on deck. 114 pitches now for Gonzalez.
Astros, the only team in the league that does not have a walk-off win this year.
Kind of curious, you know, Bernardina made such a good play in center last night, but he's in left. foul ball. And he didn't play that hit very well in left. And then Harper made an ill-advised throw to third base. I'm curious why Bernardina didn't go into center field, but Davey Johnson knows his club very well. Swing and a miss by Downs. Suzuki with the throw, and the Nationals have won the first 3 of this 4-game series. All tight games, all going down to the final at bat. The Astros with 2 men in scoring position when the game ends.
A gutsy performance by Gonzalez to hang in there and finish the game. Downsy chasing that breaking ball in the dirt. Spirited effort here in the 9th to try to tie it up, possibly even win it, and they come up just a little bit short.
What a series in Houston. Davey Johnson's club has won by 1 for the 3rd straight game. And each time the Astros really pressing the Nationals all the way. But the Nationals take this one. Final score 4-3.